Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Worth Guitars. Good to talk to you guys again. It's time for us to get back to work. I took a few days off to go and hang out with my wife at Ocean City, Maryland, and we had a blast. We ate some crabs, of course. We ate some seafood. We ate a lot. I ate a lot. We went to a great club called Bourbon Street on the beach, and we saw a band called the Rockaholics. Those guys kicked ass. Great cover band with the whole 80s, 90s jams, the Van Halen, the AC/DCs, Zeppelin, all the good stuff. We did that. Of course, I went to Pappy's Taco Joint. You got to go there. I got the t-shirt just to prove it. And now we really need to get back to work. So this week I've been in a frenzy over there on the CNC, man, just cutting parts and drawing and cutting parts. And I've got some parts cut out for a guitar for what we call here in this area the Pink Ride. And it is obviously for breast cancer research, and it also, I believe it goes directly to the people that live in this area. I'm not exactly sure how that works, I need to check, but what we're gonna do is auction that guitar off. So we're trying to make a cool, badass pink ribbon guitar. That's what I'm gonna concentrate on this week, trying to knock that down to where it's ready for finish. It's almost there, I'll show you those parts. This neck is for our brother Scott's JR290, but this one actually has humbuckers. So you can't call it a 290, it's actually a 2-hum. JR2 hum, the cool old flat top Les Paul Jr. guitars. All mahogany, ebony, the whole good, the whole recipe, the good stuff. Mahogany, ebony, humbuckers, some great, a 59, Seymour Duncan custom 59, and a jazz pickup, a Benedito from Seymour Duncan as well. So that is going on. And we also have this cool ash guitar, which has been grain filled, this beautiful swamp ash guitar with a reverse inline 6 bird's eye maple fret. Hold on, I'm trying to say too much at once. A reverse inline 6 bird's eye maple neck with a Palfaro fretboard. That's what I was trying to get out. This is it right here. Very pretty. Some nice bird's eye on it. This will be pretty sweet. I'm going to do a amber, it's called a Sienna Burst on here. That's going to be a cool guitar. I might just keep that one. It will be up for sale, but it might just end up in the rack. You know what I mean? All right. So enough talking. Let me get my stuff together. Let me move some stuff off the bench. Let me get the Pink Ride guitar over here, show you where we're at on it. And let's get the ball rolling. Of course, the acoustic guitar is still rolling over here. We're at this point here. As you know, this is where she stalled out once again, but man, it sounds good already. Very nice, deep, resonant sound. African mahogany, Sitka spruce. The box is closed up. It's ready for a neck. We got the neck sitting right there. But we're going to concentrate on the Pink Ride guitar this week. Then it's everything else, because I got to get that one done by a certain time so that we can auction it off in time and make a little money for that organization. Okay, so I'm going to get this stuff cleared off, and we're going to get to work on Pink Ride. All right, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the Pink Ride. Obviously we're trying to emulate the pink ribbons that the Breast Cancer Foundation people use so that you can easily recognize what charity they are, trying to help out. So here we are. This is the rough CNC. We've got, obviously the shape is cut out. I still have tabs I need to sand off. I've got the control cavity in. This is coming out, the center thing. That's coming out of there, and I need to do a little carving and a little sanding, and I need to get the neck to where, that always happens to me when I leave that thing in there. I go with my hip coming around the corner. And I need to get the neck to where it fits in the neck mortise, because I always make these necks that go in here slightly bigger than they need to be, because On the times that I tried to do it exact fit, it was just a little loose, and I just didn't like it. It never was exact tight fit because there's just too much, just too much play in the whole thing, and it doesn't take much to make it kind of loose. I want it to fit tight. So this doesn't fit in there yet. We're going to work on that. I have a template here that we can tape the neck down to, and that will take off the little edge here that is left by the CNC machine. When the 1/2-inch core box bit comes down and around, it leaves a little taste right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's something that has to be trimmed off. And what I normally do is put a fretboard on there and round it over roughly to the fretboard. But I need to shape this down here, so I'm going to sand it some and see if we can get it to fit in that joint. We're about, I mean, it's a little heavy. It's a little heavier than I'd like for it to be, so I may use the template. But what I want to do first is get this cleaned up and see how it looks. Do a little carving on this area right here. And I'll get you over here a little closer. You can see what we're doing, okay? All right, hold on. So you can see this part is carved down and this part is carved down. And my thought was to carve this down a little bit and leave a little of that shoulder coming down into this area here, like I did over here. And I'm trying to give the illusion of a ribbon wrapping around itself, okay? Does that make sense? I think it does. I think it does. So I need to clean up these areas here. And I think I'm just going to do that with a sander. We'll see how that goes. I think that'll work. Let's speed her up a little bit. This area here needs to be chiseled a little. You're doing something like this, you kind of need to pay attention to which way the little grain breaks off when you're doing it. So you make sure you don't go the wrong way. And take out a chunk instead of a slice. You can have a chunk of cheese and a slice of cheese, but you do not want a chunk of wood. Right? There you go, that took care of that. Let's get this area here cleaned up a little bit. This wood isn't my favorite. This piece of mahogany, it's got some of that fuzzy mahogany in it. And that stuff's a little difficult to work with sometimes, because all it wants to do is fuzz up. I don't know if you've run across that in your woodworking adventures. The fuzzy mahogany. The dreaded fuzzy mahogany. All right, that looks better there. Strange wood has a strange texture. Strange texture. Hairy. I need something that'll bend a little bit. Here, this is better. Potential spam. Someone is calling me that doesn't know me, and they just want to sell me a extended home warranty, and I don't want it. There you go. That looks much cleaner there, right? Nice little swoop in there now. Right? Like that. That's the kind of look I'm going for right there. Got a little more control with a heavier chisel. I think that's what I want to do right there. Like that. See this fuzzy stuff I'm talking about? That's weird, that kind of wood. It's okay after you get some sealer on it, but it's a little difficult to sand it. Kind of just spongy. There we go. I need to go ahead and take that out too because we don't need it in there. So let's just do this. I bought this for that purpose. So use it. Honestly, this saw scares the crap out of me. It's so dangerous, those teeth. If you were to pull this across any portion of your body with any force, it'd be a terrible wound. It kind of makes me nervous when I use it. I don't know why. I try to be careful. Come on now. It's so sharp it's hard to get it started because it wants to just dig in and stop. Okay, that's that. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going for. That kind of look. Well, you probably can't see that because of the camera angle. Right? Now you can. Okay, so now we got that cut out. That's kind of cool. Of course, the pickup goes there, bridge. I got to drill a hole through here. This is going to be tricky. Down through here, across here, not hitting the bridge hole. Coming down and then maybe connecting through that way. What I should have done in retrospect is carved a groove in the edges of both of these two pieces of wood and then glued it together, and that groove would have been there already. But I did not do that. All right, so that's where we're at. Let's keep working on that for a minute. Get it roughed out. to where we like it. Get rid of the hardware. I'm going to back the camera up. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's where we're at. I think I said that already. Let's sand some. Excuse me. Mahogany dust. Wow. That stuff is evil. I should be wearing a mask. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause for a second and go turn off the irrigation system. Got that done though. Let's get back to work. Got that there. It's looking good. Got a little bit more to take off these areas here. These areas are tough to get. Anytime there's a shoulder like that, you got to make sure you don't damage the shoulder. Sanding sideways on the other one. It's easy to do. I'm gonna have to just creep up on it. I'm trying to get this shoulder nice and crisp. Right here where the router stopped coming in there. So you have crisp edges like that. Get the ribbon effect. Shoop. Right, we're going to paint this baby pink. Some nice chrome hardware on it. Wraparound bridge, single pickup, volume tone. Just a straight ahead little rock and roll machine. Now what I want to do is try to get the neck to fit. Of course, I got to cut these out, and I'm just going to do that with a router right now. What I want to do is cut these little tabs off. And I think I got a router set up. Let me grab that. I'll be right back. What I want to do is take a flush trim router bit and just using this surface as a fence, trim off the tabs. Get that done real fast like. That's something we can do quickly and make a step forward if I can find the right bit. That's always a question. And I think this one will work. It's not the one I want to use, but it is the one I have handy at the moment. This one will do the trick. So I got to change out bits. Real quick like. Taking the top bearing bit out, putting in a bottom bearing bit. The difference being bearings here or bearings there, right? Most of you guys probably already know that. Some people may not. Easy way to change your router bit. Put your tool in that holds the main portion of the spindle. That's what I was trying to say. Put the tool on that holds the spindle down to the table. The tool that turns the nut, push it down, you loosen it up. Go the opposite way, tighten it back up. You may already know that too, but some of you may not. Little router tip. It does come in handy. Okay, we've got a new bit. I need earplugs. Where are my earplugs? Oh well. There we go, like that. There we go, got all the tabs off. All right, we're rolling now. Got it cleaned up. That's looking good. And we'll let Steve do some of the refinement on here. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. He'll start refining this body, sanding it, rounding over the edges. For the meantime, though, what we want to do is check this neck against one of the fretboards that we have to make sure that we have enough room to start standing on that mortise. And I have a fretboard right here. And we just want to make sure that we're good to go here. Looks like it's perfect. I think that'll work perfectly. You can see we need to take some of this off, this width here. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. And I'm just going to use a sander to do it for the moment. And try and get that joint to fit a little tighter. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Put this back, get this out of the way. We're just going to work it down slowly. Using the trusty sanding block. This baby right here. Being careful not to knock it out of square or anything. Don't want to do anything weird. We got a little ways to go though. A little bit further than I would like. Put a little mark here and see how far I got to go. Man, I got a pretty good ways to go here. I may want to widen this more to some. So I don't want to take off too much off of this. Too much more off of this. Because I want to make sure the fretboard fits properly. Although we do seem to have plenty of room. I think I can take off some off of that without bothering anything. Take a little meat off. Good. That's good. A couple drops of glue to hold it in place. The template is the exact size that the neck needs to be. And the neck is slightly over. So what I'm going to do is route down to the template. I mean, it's not the exact size. Actually, the template is slightly oversized also. And we're going to route down to the template, and we'll have a lot less to have to take off by hand. There's still some hand work you got to do. But it's easy. It's just rounding edges over. Let that glue set up a little bit. We'll get the camera moved over so you can see what I'm doing. And give it another shot. Like that. Yeah, now we gotta get that little edge there off now. What we'll do is take it back off the template like that, using this as the bearing now. We can get most of the rest of that off of there. I could actually raise it up some and get the rest of it as well. So let's do that. Let's raise that up. That's about as high as it'll go. And that'll get the rest. Except that's a little too high now. The fretboard, the neck actually hits the collet. So that's as high as we can go. Now we can go a little bit more than that. We can go a little bit more than that. All right. Okay, so now we're using this edge to ride with the bearing here. Okay, let's see how much farther we are. Well, I got to take that little lip off first. A couple little strokes across here, I'll do that. That takes that right off. And this side here. Let's see how close we are now. That's a lot closer. Not perfect yet, but it's a lot closer than it was. Okay, we're getting close now. Not quite there, but we're getting close. That's what you want to do. You want to creep up on that joint. Because that joint needs to be nearly perfect. Because we want the joint to have the strength of this board right here along with it. Because we have this open here. So we want to make sure it's good and strong right here. With all this glued together, this will maintain the strength of all of this here. I started not to do the cutout but I'm glad I did because it looks cool. All right, now I need to round over these edges here. Okay, we're getting super close now. I'm going to go ahead and round over these edges, these corners, to fit the mortise shape. Right? That makes sense to you, right? I need a little templates. Looks like a 1/4 inch round over. Three-eighths inch round over will fit it nicely. So I'm just going to draw that on here and sand it on there real quick. Like that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I took a little of that excess off of the corners. And it should drop down in there with about 5 more strokes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more. Patience. That's it right there. I'm not going to push it all the way in because it's still just a tear too tight. But I'm going to get the fretboard on first. Then I'm going to make any final adjustments I need to that area right there. And then we can refine that a little back here so it makes it a little easier to play. But as you can see, at first I was concerned that, the fretboard stops, the obviously completely open access stops right here. I don't know, I think it's like 17 or something, 17 fret. And I was thinking, man, it's going to be tough to get down in there. It looked like it in the drawings. But now that I've got it done, I mean, your hand just goes right there. If you feel the need to burn eyebrows off, you can get in there and do it. Okay? So we're there. Sanding. And more sanding, more refinement, fretboard. Need to do the headstock, obviously. That's it, kids, guys, friends, neighbors. Thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back. It's good to be getting it done. Please stay tuned to watch the rest of the Pink Ride guitar build. This is going to be a cool guitar, and it's for a great, great cause. I think everybody can get behind that. And this will be available for auction. This is a one-of-a-kind made specifically for this auction. And it's going to have Seymour Duncan pickups in it, a very nice Tone Pro wraparound bridge. I mean, we're going to do some ratio locking tuners. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Great company, Graphtec. They make the Graphtec nuts. They make tuners and bridges. I have a Graphtec bridge in there wraparound, one of those real simple old style I would like to try on a guitar. I'm going to come up soon, but that has nothing to do with this guitar. This guitar, though, is getting there. All right, as you can see, I didn't press the neck all the way down in, and you can see the process there. I'm still going to do a few more strokes, right? And you're wondering, how come this thing doesn't slide back and forth? It's because it's got sandpaper on the back, right? Man, it works great. Good old chunk of mahogany. So that's where we're at. I'm going to take a little more off of that after I get the fretboard on, and we can push it all the way down in. And we'll glue this bad boy together. We'll do some sanding. We'll do some finishing, a little bit of wiring. We'll see what it sounds like. All right? You guys be good to each other out there. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It only takes a few minutes of your time. They'll ask you for your email address or whatever. They're not going to spam you or anything. You don't get spammed by me. Nobody spams anybody. There's no spamming. All right? You just get the enjoyment of YouTube. If you don't already subscribe to YouTube, it's a great channel. I love it. Okay, that's it, guys. Be good to each other out there. Please go out there and see some bands. Support your fellow musicians and, you know, your local tavern owners. And don't forget to tip the waitresses and bartenders. All right? See you guys. Peace. Be good to each other out there.